I thought I would take a minute to talk about the hobby a little bit. I think that I've been in it long enough now that I can voice some opinions about the way things are going and things like that. I've been frustrated a lot lately with the way things are going in the hobby. People are dropping groups and picking and choosing and running around behind the scenes, bashing on one another, and just all sorts of drama. And it gets old and it really ruins the fun. So when I started this Stomper Museum group, I wanted it to be different than the groups that already existed, because if it's not different, there's really no reason to start a new one. So one of the primary things I wanted it to be where people all were buddies and they were happy to see one another get stompers. And it seems like that's an impossible feat. It seems like people are jealous. When you get a new stomper in, 2 or 3 people hit the like, everybody else is sitting back messaging one another, oh look, Ron's buying them all up now and whatever else. So there's a lot of jealousy and people get angry when someone's doing good. That's not really how I feel America is supposed to be. I feel that I work, I make 3D printed parts, I make stickers, I sell bicycle parts, I do whatever it takes every single day to keep this roof over my head and keep a spot for these stompers in the garage and support for my family. So my family comes first, stompers and my hobbies come second. So whenever I buy a stomper, I'm trying to find the nicest one that I can find. 6 months later, I might find one nicer than that. So when this happens, I've decided that rather than have 2 of the same thing all the time, I'll sell the extra and I'll buy something I don't have. Now there are certain stompers that I don't mind having 5 or 6 of. I've got a lot of Dodges and I like the Nomads and some of those. So I have multiples of those. But if I decide to sell one, I'm going to go out and I'm going to see what the current market value is on that stomper, and I'm going to put it up for sale. Usually I drop it a little bit cheaper on the museum group than I do on eBay. If I do list it a little bit higher, I usually will take payments from museum members. I will do trades with museum members, and I always, if they're paying in cash on PayPal, drop the price down for them a little bit. But I can't give everything away. Now I do turn around and I offer free stickers to museum members. I have sold a couple on eBay. I put them on there more or less for advertisement for the group, but some people have bought them. But regardless of all of that, my primary goal with the stickers is to give them away. Now occasionally someone will donate a Rough Rider or a Stomper to give away on the group, and we'll have a giveaway, and those are always fun. But in order to keep the giveaways going, I have to have income, because whenever I ship the Rough Rider or the Stomper or a sticker, I pay the shipping out of my pocket. So, for somebody to get upset and say that we're just all about the money and we're all about big business, we're not. We're giving away more than any other Stomper group that I've ever seen. We have made dioramas for people's graves. We've gave stickers away. We've gave Rough Riders away. I've gave tires away before. We constantly are doing giveaways. And it amazes me that people that don't put in and never ever really donate anything or give back to the hobby are the first ones to jump up and say, well, this is not fair. You guys are just in it for the money because you're selling stompers. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Just worry about yourself, because the same people that are bitching about that, I have seen bangoing stompers, and I've seen them selling their stompers, and I've never ever seen them giving them away for half of market value. So this whole silliness about who's doing what and who's flipping and all that, there's flippers in this hobby that's been flipping longer than I've even been in it. And I don't care what they're doing. They buy them and then they flip them. I've bought from flippers. It's what they do. It's not my business. If you don't like flippers and you don't like people selling stompers, then I suggest you don't ever buy any more stompers. Because if you've bought them from somebody that's selling, chances are you bought them from a flipper, or you bought them for someone that had doubles and they sold one of them. So, or if you've even played bango. There's a lot of people complaining about the bango. They think that the prices are going up because of bango. All you got to do is realize that every year around tax time, the price is nearly double. Then add into that everybody got $1,200 stimulus this year, and you see markets go up. Also add on top of that we've had an insurge of new members coming in, and all of them seem to have some disposable income, and they are bidding them up. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. We all have done it. I've gotten on eBay and I've bid Stompers up just like everybody else. I wanted to win. I bid to what I would pay, sometimes a little more, and that just inflates the price. So there's so much going on in the hobby right now that it seems like people just want to sit back and complain. I really, really urge everyone to stop the complaining, stop bitching and moaning, and enjoy Stompers. And if you're not currently buying any Stompers, just stay off the groups, because typically what I find is when people stop buying Stompers, all they do is find drama to get involved in. They haven't bought a Stomper in a year, but they're still on the groups every day bitching and moaning and complaining. So if you're there for the love of Stompers, I appreciate you. If you're there because you want to buy a Stomper, I appreciate you. If you're there to flip a Stomper, I appreciate you. There's no sense in everybody being at one another. We can all share this hobby. There's no reason for all this division. There's no reason for any complaints and all that. There are people that we can't get along with. I have some people that I don't see eye to eye with on hardly anything. And sometimes you just got to separate yourself, take them off of your Facebook, and move on. And that's not a big deal. But to continue it on and constant complaining and constantly bitching and all this behind the scenes is just hurting the hobby. It's making people leave. And typically the good guys end up leaving because the bad guys are constantly complaining and fighting. So then all you end up left with in the hobby are the bitching and moaning and whiners. So I'm not trying to bitch at everybody or whatever, but I'm a little frustrated today because of this kind of stuff going on constantly. I've been involved in it too. We all have to stop. I'm not just talking down to everyone. So what I want it to be about on the Stomper Museum are these Stompers. We're going to run out of things to talk about occasionally. So yeah, I allow people to share a post about a real truck. I sometimes post about my muscle car. Pretty much about anything guy related. I want it to be guys hanging out in their shop, showing off their new toy. And I don't want people sitting around getting jealous, fighting, and trying to destroy one another over all the silliness. I hope that this all made sense. I'm sorry it got lengthy, and I hope that I didn't come off like an a-hole, but something has to be said and something needs to change, because what's happening with me right now is that I don't want to give anything away anymore, because every time I give something away, somehow there ends up being drama. I built a diorama for a guy that was a good member, and the guy that I send it to turns into a jerk and starts being an a-hole to me for no reason. I mean, I did a good deed and I end up getting kicked in the balls. So my whole point is it seems like when people do things and they step out of the crowd and they say, okay, I'm going to make a change, we're going to make this hobby better than it has been, they get attacked until they stop doing that. And then it goes back to flatline and boring. I don't know what people are going to talk about. I don't know what people are going to post, because it's getting to the point you can't post anything anymore online without being torn apart. So I just wanted to get this off my chest. I'm sorry for the rant. Some of you may have already turned it off by now, and I understand that. But I'd like us all to be friends. Don't have to agree politically. Don't have to agree about somebody's religion. Don't have to agree on your sexuality. Don't care about any of that. I really don't. It doesn't matter. This is what that group's about. I want it to stay on topic for the most part, and I want it to be fun. And in order for it to be fun, people are going to have to quit being so judgmental and sitting back, watching what everybody's doing and nitpicking. If you start doing that, you're destroying it. Get up off your ass, do something, put in. You donate something. If you see that you think everybody's making money there, change it. Start giving your Stompers away. Start making some stickers, giving them away. Buy a 3D printer, start giving away 3D printed parts. It won't be long before you'll realize, hey, this costs money. I have to charge something for those. That's where I'm at. I just wish that people could see the perspective that others are in. So anyway, I appreciate everybody for listening. Sorry if it feels like drama to you. I'm hoping this gets taken to heart by some guys, and we can maybe have some fun by the end of today. Maybe I'll get off my chest and feel a little more like doing something in the hobby again. But right now, I'm just not even getting on the group. It's been frustration for me. So anyway, you guys have a great day, and Stomper on.